Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're consuming this particular piece of media. Welcome to SPC209 Interpersonal Communication here at Aiken Technical College. I am Victor McGinnis. I will be your instructor for this class. This is an online class. So what we're going to do with this first opportunity to engage is I will just be going over some of the mechanics of the class. I'll be talking to you about how we're going to be taking attendance, and we're going to go over some of the material within the class just to have a conversation. There'll be nothing graded out of today. There'll be no test. Just to let you know, the material I'm going to be going over today is just a sort of video, visual, and verbal reinforcement of two documents that you have access to within your Blackboard account. The first is going to be my course syllabus. And the syllabus addendum. Okay, the syllabus is promulgated by for all SPC209 classes. My personal take on the class will be contained within the syllabus addendum. Both of these documents are posted within the documents section on Blackboard. If you're not familiar with Blackboard, if you don't know how to operate Blackboard, please get familiar with that as quickly as possible. Okay, we're going to be working a lot on Blackboard. Your day-to-day mechanics of this class are going to be through Blackboard, so please get familiar with Blackboard as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's get started. Let me introduce myself to you. Okay, first of all, I was born and raised in a little town just south of Birmingham, Alabama called Homewood. I lived there for almost my entire life in the same house. I then attended Auburn University. I got a bachelor's degree in communications. I had worked as a radio disc jockey to earn money during college, not wanting to work at a minimum wage in a career field where you get fired about twice a year. I graduated and I enlisted in the United States Army. I was in Army intelligence for 6 years. After getting out of the Army, I went back to Auburn to graduate school. I got my master's degree in communications and international relations. Then I went to work for the National Security Agency. Okay, working for NSA, I worked for them for 22 years. It was a great opportunity to work within the intelligence community, do a lot of great stuff. In 2010, I switched over and went to work for U.S. Central Command. Central Command runs the military operations for the entire Middle East. I was there from 2010 to 2015 down in Tampa, Florida. Then after that, I retired after 30 years of federal service. Oh, excuse me, that's what happens the first week of January. Okay, I retired, came up, and I taught some courses over at the U.S. Army Cyber Center. I did that for about 2 years, and I came to work here at Aiken Technical College as the lead instructor for speech courses, including this one, in the fall of 2018. During my time, I had a lot of great opportunities to live all over the place. I was stationed in California, lived in Maryland for 10 years. We were in Texas for 3 years, and we were in Florida for 9 years. Also had some great opportunities to go overseas. We lived in the United Kingdom. We lived in Northern England for 5 years. I also had the opportunity to go to Iraq and Afghanistan. I spent about a total of 16 months in Iraq and Afghanistan from 2004 to 2015. Also got a chance to go to Bahrain and Qatar. As far as where I taught before my teaching background, I taught at Auburn University. I taught at the University of Maryland. I taught for the National Security Agency. I taught for the Defense Intelligence Agency. I taught at the Central Command Schoolhouse. The last two there are the John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where I taught. I also taught at the U.S. Army Cyber School over at Fort Gordon. The bottom line of all of that is, excuse me again, I've been teaching communication courses for about 35 years. Okay? Online courses are nothing new to me. We should be able to work through everything we have here, and everything should go smoothly. Now here's my contact information. I know it may be hard to read on this video, but basically you'll find it in the syllabus and the syllabus addendum. My office hours are listed, but let's face it, you know, if you could make office hours, you probably wouldn't be taking an online class. So my email is probably going to be the easiest and most convenient way for us to communicate. I really do prefer office face-to-face communication. If you can come to my office, I am available to you. I have had online students tell me that they thought because they were online students they couldn't take part in office hours. If you're struggling with the course and you can come to campus, please come to see me. I'll be happy to host you in my office for a meeting at any time, as long as classes don't conflict. I would say that if you're going to come to campus, make sure you let me know in advance so that I have a lot of other committees that I'm involved with. I want to make sure that I'm there for you, especially if you online students are making a special trip in. That'll be, so just give me a heads up when you're coming. Our primary point of contact, realistically, though, is going to be through email. My email is listed there. It's also listed in the syllabus and the syllabus addendum. I do make a promise to my students, if you email me, I will respond within 24 hours. If I don't, please ask me about it. Send me another email with all caps in the subject line, why didn't you answer my last email? That being said, if you email me Friday at 3 o'clock, you're probably not going to get an answer till Monday morning, okay? I like my weekends just as much as everybody else does, so please be aware of that, okay? This is a quick rundown of our goals. It starts off with the Aiken Technical College mission. We're a public, open-door, 2-year comprehensive institution of higher education to provide the greater Aiken County opportunity for educational workforce development. If I can't tie what you're doing in this class to some way that's going to make you a better employee or a better manager within your workspace, I've failed in the ATC mission. If you don't understand how what we're talking about in this class applies in the real world, you need to send me an email or you need to come into the office and ask me about it, or post it on Blackboard in the discussions, okay? The course description is we're going to introduce you to, wow, that says public speaking. That needs to be fixed, to interpersonal communication. My goal is to make you a more effective communicators, okay? Quite simply, if you're an effective communicator, if you're a more effective communicator, studies have shown over and over again, if you're a more effective communicator, you will make more money. All right, that's just the way it goes. We could look at it in other terms. I could say you'll advance in your career better. You'll be able to provide more service to volunteer organizations you're engaged in, and all that is completely true. But I find that most of the students at Aiken Technical College are here for pretty much for economic reasons. They want to advance their career. They're already in the workforce, and they want to advance their career. And to be honest with you, the 2 communications courses we teach here, public speaking and interpersonal communication, both directly contribute to that. Now, you may need more technical courses like nursing courses or welding courses, and I completely support that. I think those are great, okay? But if you're a nurse, if you're a welder, if you're in the rad tech program, all of those will be a help by you being a more effective communicator. My goals here is to, again, make you a more confident and effective communicator. All right, so here's your textbook. It is an online textbook. You do not have to go to the hub and spend $60 on a textbook that at the end of the semester is going to be a doorstop, or it's going to be used to balance a table leg. Your textbook is online. It is downloadable. If you're a boomer like me and you have to have physical pages printed out, you can download the PDF and you can print it. You don't have to, but that's the link. You don't have to try to squint and look at the link and copy the link off of here. The link is in the syllabus, okay? You can mark it and move it. Again, I'm going to stress, because I always say this and I always get an email saying, hey, where can I buy the textbook? You do not have to buy the textbook, okay? The textbook is online. It's a publicly licensed textbook. Textbooks on interpersonal communication are all cover relatively the same stuff. Is this the best interpersonal communication textbook? It's okay, it's good. It may not be the best, it's certainly not the worst, but it is free. So you gotta go with that, okay? Generally, we will be covering 1 chapter a week in the textbook, okay? That's real simple. When we get to the public speaking chapters, I think it's 9 through 12, we're gonna compress all of those into 1 week. I will talk to you about that in more detail later in the semester. No point in jumping into it now when it's 2 months away. I will go over that with you in detail. The textbook spends way too much time, I think, in discussing public speaking. If you want to be better at public speaking, take SPC209. If you take it in the classroom, fantastic instructor. The guy's name's Vic McInnes. I would recommend his classes to anyone. If you need to take public speaking online, our public speaking online instructor is named Terry Davis. She is fantastic as well. Okay, so if you want to learn more about public speaking, this is not the venue for that. Okay, so we are going to blow through those, more approaching it as a critical how to consume public speaking as opposed to how to do public speaking. I will cover all that later on in the class. Okay, but in general, we are going to cover 1 chapter a week in the textbook. All right, and we'll discuss a little bit more of the mechanics on that. I think maybe in the next slide. Let's see. Next slide. Okay. Class rules. First of all, let's start at the bottom. All formal communication associated with this class will be done through Blackboard. Okay? If you want to send me emails, that's fine. But if there's a change in class, if I've had trouble posting a lecture and we're going to change the due date on your assignments, I am going to post that in Blackboard announcements. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that the email you have set up with your Blackboard account is the one you're checking fairly regularly. Now, I know that a lot of people, when they set up their Blackboard, and they came in and they set up their student profiles, they listed their atc.edu account because they thought they had to, and then they never look at that account. Okay, you need to go back and check your student profile and make sure that your email, the one that's associated with your student profile, the one that Blackboard is going to be pulling on, is the email account that you look at on a fairly regular basis. Or if you're not going to do that, you need to go in and check Blackboard announcements for this class 2 or 3 times a week at a minimum, okay? Because all formal announcements for this class will be handled through Blackboard announcements, okay? Let's talk a little bit about class rules, and the main one we're going to be concerned with is we're going to talk about attendance. Attendance is going to be taken through participation in Blackboard discussion boards, okay? Input is due every week by Friday at 8 a.m. So what we're going to do is I am going to post a lecture on Friday. This is being posted on Wednesday. Day after tomorrow, on Friday, I will post the lecture for Chapter 1. Then I will also post at that same time, I will open a discussion board on Blackboard. All right? I will tell you what exercises we will be doing from Chapter 1, and you will open up I will open up a discussion board. You will be tasked to provide a discussion of one of the exercises. Now, by a discussion, I don't mean, I think this is stupid, period, and that's it. Okay? When I say I expect you to discuss the exercise, this is a college level course. I expect you to be able to talk for 2 to 3 full paragraphs about the concepts identified in one of the exercises. Okay? I will almost always give you 2 or 3 different exercises to work on. Okay? One of those 3 exercises you should be able to discourse for 2 to 3 full paragraphs. Again, 2 to 3 full paragraphs. I used to say discuss it fully, and then I would get like 3 sentences and somebody would say, why didn't you give me full credit? Because I discussed it fully. Fine. 2 to 3 full paragraphs. That discussion every week is going to be worth 10 points. Okay? 10 points per week will be your input to the discussion boards. All right? After you do that, you are going to be expected to comment on 3 other students' discussion board inputs. Okay? And I don't expect to see something like, hey, that's great, good idea, love it. No, I expect that your comments on their discussion board inputs to, again, be full and show that you read their content and you're engaging with that content. So that's going to take at least a full paragraph. Now here's what happens. People will start the semester typing out that 3 full paragraphs. they'll go in and they'll hit that same, they'll give a full paragraph comment to each of the, to 3 other students, and each of those 3 comments will be worth 5 points each. So the first week they'll get the full 25. Second week they'll get the full 25 all the way through week 8. 14 weeks in this. By the time we get down to week 11, week 12, I get 1 paragraph, 1 short paragraph for the discussion board, okay? And then I get like 1 quick sentence for the comments on other students. That's not going to cut it long term, okay? And then also what I see, the deadline is Friday at 8 a.m. I also see a lot of people that will be doing their input at 7:57, okay? You've got a week to do this, all right? There is no reason for you not to get, I believe it's 350 points available for this. There is no reason for you not to get the full 350 points. Okay, you're going to find out a huge percentage of your grade is based solely on these discussion boards, okay? Which makes this the easiest good grade you're going to get in your college careers, okay? Input is due by Friday at 8 a.m. Late posts will receive no credit, okay? You can't come in and tell me that after having a full week to look at the material, to read the chapter, to view my lecture, you couldn't get your input in until 9:15. Now, is there circumstances where that could happen? That is absolutely possible, okay? But you need to engage me early on to make sure, like I said, if an excused absence causes you not to be able to post by the deadline, I will allow extra time, but those excuses must be coordinated in advance, okay? So if you haven't reached out to me by Thursday to let me know that your input is going to be late on Friday, you're not getting, that's not an excused absence, okay? I have oftentimes had students that come in at like Friday at noon saying, I just posted my input, okay? I had a problem over this week. My only response to that is, okay, I'm not going to count you absent for this week because you did do your input, but you're not going to get any credit. You're not going to get any points for it, okay? I'm going to stress that again, okay? If you're not going to be able to post to the discussion boards on time, I need to know about that as soon as possible. Waiting till after the deadline to let me know is not going to get you any points, okay? If you get it in, you know, if you post by Friday at noon, yeah, I might give you credit for not count you absent for the week. But again, I have to set a deadline at some point. Doesn't make any difference if it's Thursday at 5, Friday at 8, or Friday at noon. I have to set a deadline and I have to stick to it, okay? So please, 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 please get your input done on time, okay? We do follow the Aiken Technical College inclusivity policies concerning the rights of others. Students will be given as much freedom as you need with your discussion boards. I want the conversations on the discussion boards to be open. I wanted you to be engaged. I want to build that virtual community within this class, which I've seen work very well in other semesters. My intention is to give you as much range for your comments as possible. That being said, okay, if you use language that is interpreted as discriminatory based on the grounds of race, gender, disability, sexual orientation, religious belief, or age, that will not be tolerated and you will immediately receive a 0 for that week, okay? Additionally, any violation of that will result in you being reviewed by myself, by my department chair, as to whether or not you can continue in the class, all right? Just, again, I don't think there's anything new about this. I don't think in 2020 anybody should be surprised by this policy. What I will tell you is don't test me on it, okay? I absolutely believe that everyone has a right to engage this privilege of an education here at Aiken Technical College. I will not stand by passively while you come in and proselytize about your religion, while you come in and use discriminatory language based on any of those issues that I just raised. Okay? There's no need for it. It doesn't accomplish anything. So please don't push that issue. Okay? Here's our grades. Your discussion board grades, like I said, are going to be 350 out of 500 points. Okay? Your final exam is going to be 50 points. Let me run that down for you and tell you how easy this course really is. If you put forth the effort on a week-to-week basis, okay, to give me 2 to 3 good full paragraphs for your discussion board input, and then give me 1 paragraph each in commenting on other students' discussion boards, you will get 350 points. You can then zero out the final, and you will still get a C in this class. Okay? I am handing you a C, basically, if you put in the effort. Okay? If you do that, if you do the full 14 weeks and put in the 2 to 3 paragraphs for your discussion board input, and then put in a good full paragraph and commenting on 3 other students' discussion board inputs, and then you get a 33% on the final, you'll get a B in this course. Okay? I can't stress enough, a lot of people get involved in that week to week, putting their discussion board comments up there, and then they begin to think, oh yeah, well, it's not a big deal, okay? And then it begins to slack off, and then when they roll into the final, the best they can get out of the class is a B, because they've only been getting 10 or 15 points for weeks at a time, okay? Those discussion board inputs are going to be the major part of your grade, so I can't stress enough how important they are, okay? All right. A couple of things I want to remind you of. If you have a statement of accommodation from the counselors for students with disabilities, please email me a copy. I will make any reasonable accommodation possible to make sure that you are successful in this class. Going to say that right out of the box. This class is probably the easiest class for me to adjust to and make reasonable accommodations to people, and that'll be fine. Okay? I have to have a copy though. And if you don't have one, if you have an issue, you don't already have a statement of accommodation, please speak to Rich Weldon. He is our counselor for students with disabilities. He's the advisor for students with disabilities. Please give me that statement of accommodation as quickly as possible so I can make that adjustment. Okay. I may have failed to mention this, but again, we adhere to the General Education Department's attendance policy. You have to attend 90% of the classes to get it, or you're not getting what you need to get out of this class. So how that operationalizes itself in this class, since I keep attendance through discussion boards, if you fail to do input on 3 discussion boards, you will be withdrawn from this class. That is not my policy. That is the General Education Department's policy. Okay, the School of General Education says 90% attendance. Since I take attendance once a week through the discussion boards, and there are 15 weeks in this class, I actually give people a break. Technically, I should withdraw you after 2, but everybody has things going on in their lives. I get that. But when you fail to input on your 3rd discussion board, you will get an email from me informing you that you are being withdrawn from the class. Okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Okay? I cannot, even if violate or change that policy, because that policy is set up by Father Frederick Rogers, who runs general education here. Okay? Again, let me stress that if you fail to do input on 3 weekly discussion boards, you will be withdrawn from this class. If you're going to have trouble with meeting that requirement, you need to let me know as soon as possible. That goes for everything. If you're going to have a problem in any way with this class, we need to get ahead of it as soon as we can. Okay? It is not a good idea to show up, to let things go for 3 weeks. And when you get the email from me saying you've missed the last 3 discussion boards, you're going to be withdrawn from the class, for you to then say, but I've been having these problems at work. By that point, it's too late, and you will be withdrawn from the class. okay? If you can't get your discussion board input done in time, like I said, don't inform me Friday at 9 o'clock because then it is too late. You need to let me know as early as possible that you're going to have a problem, okay? I will do everything I can to help you as long as I have prior knowledge so that I can help you. If we wait till the last minute, it's not gonna, there's virtually nothing I can do. My hands will be tied. Okay? All right. If you have any questions about any of that, okay, these slides, the syllabus, and the syllabus addendum are all going to be posted in the documents section of SPC209 on Blackboard. Okay? Go to the documents section, review these slides, and if you have any questions, you can email me. And again, don't call me because I don't play phone tag. It is, you guys work, I work, we all have jobs. Email me and we can have a conversation via email. If you have any questions about this, email me. Okay, so let me give you your first assignment. All right, your attendance this week, this is going to be posted on Wednesday. All right, I am going to give you until Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Okay, Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Okay, you have 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's 5.5 days to post a short biographical sketch to let us know who you are. Okay, I will post an example. My biographical sketch will go up there as soon as I open up the discussion board. Okay, I then want to see you comment and make contact with 3 other students in this class. Okay? What that means is be courteous, write your biographical sketch, get those 2 or 3 paragraphs done, and try to get them posted fairly quickly. Try to get them posted by Saturday. If everybody posts on Sunday night at midnight, okay, that's going to be a problem. So you have, I said Monday at 8, I mean Monday at noon, okay? I expect you to post a biographical sketch and then comment on 3 other students. Don't comment on mine. My ego is way too fragile to have people talking about me like that, okay? Don't comment on mine, but comment on 3 other students' biographical. You may find that you grew up in the same area, you worked for the same company, you have something in common. Start having a conversation with each other. You may never see each other until the final. And yes, you do have to come to campus for the final. I will get the time and the place out on that well in advance so you have plenty of time to plan. Okay? But start having a conversation with your fellow students. You're going to be you will be seeing a lot of their writing over the next couple of months. Okay? So your assignment for this week and how I will take attendance, you have until Monday noon, okay, I believe that's the 13th, to post a short biographical sketch, 2 to 3 paragraphs, okay, and then comment on 3 other students' biographical sketches as well, okay? If you have any questions about that, if you have any questions about anything you've seen here, if you have any questions about the syllabus or the syllabus addendum, you all have my email address. Please feel free to contact me via email. Let's have a conversation. Let's get that started so that we can all successfully complete this class. Again, my name is Vic McInnes. I will be your instructor for SPC209. You'll be seeing a lot of me on YouTube, which is how we're going to post all of these. And I look forward to spending virtually this semester with you.